What you are seeing is freshly found footage of the US Navy's first ever fire support mission in 1780. Don't ask me how it was uncovered, but it was. True fact. Thanks to the efforts of Horatio Gates at the Battle of Saratoga, the French have decided to join our war and have been funneling troops, men and equipment. However, they expect us to keep those supply lines open and take an active role in the ongoing land operations being planned. The French Admiral has devoted a large portion of his resources to our Marine Corps. As you are a pioneer of our young Navy, it has been decided that you are in most need of these supplies. However, resources must be shared between all, and you must pick what you need most. Let's take the field artillery. There hasn't been many options for cannon. Oh, we've been given 12 pounders. Oh, jeez. Someone said in the comments you might get access, so yes, 12 pound cannon. Big boys on the land anyway. 1800 yard range versus 1600 yards. And slightly more damage, but the range, that's huge. We've been given 16 cannon, so let's make 2 units of 8 cannon each. And then that will complement our already extensive artillery battery. We have 2 batteries of 8 pounders and 1 of 6. So we'll make up the second battery of 12 pound cannon. And the next 2 missions are land battles, so they may come in use. Alright, 150 men. We won't worry about an officer just yet until they're ready to fight. We've got 2 missions, a friend indeed. River landing to defend a town. To help the Spanish in Florida. Or Tailor made. The British ambush met local patriots and captured Wilmington. We cannot afford to lose the port, so that seems like the most important mission. We've arrived just in time. The British army is assembled and we are slowly marching towards the city. Commandant Jules Caesar has taken up position in a local fort and has arranged his forces in a standard defensive formation. Although the French are well armed and disciplined, they are few in number and the local militia accompanying them may prove more burden than help. Under your orders, I took a small scouting party to make contact with the Commandant early this morning. He explained the desperate situation and has placed his full force under your command. It is now up to you to save the southern campaign, Captain. Yes, we are due for a promotion, I think. You know what? We've arrived just in time. It is a small force. They are surrounded by the Brits. The British troops are in a position to attack the fort. And I've decided to bring fire support. We are the ranking officer here, so we take full command of all troops. Somehow we're going to communicate to them from our ship. Carrier pigeons flying back and forth rapidly. They have the fort well encircled. The Royal Fusiliers are on the breachworks. So let's get the militia here up on the wall. Wow, they've got artillery at point blank range. Let's try and take those out. Now, I don't think I'm going to land. We are going to pull up our 2 second rates right into that bay. And we're going to unleash the US Navy's first fire support mission. We're going to bombard the Brits back into the Stone Age, I think. And just hope the Fusiliers can hold the fort until we get there. Hold the line to... that means both lines will fire. Try and whittle down these artillery as soon as we can. The British numbers are huge compared to the defenders. But if they expect me to land troops, they've got another thing coming. We had a severe manpower shortage recently, and I don't want to emulate that. We need to recover from that. Alright, the French Royal Fusiliers are now engaged with the English, who outnumber them 2 to 1. We have militia on the flank. Hopefully they're safe there on that wall. Their morale is terrible. The artillery is doing a good job at fighting the counter-artillery. Savage and Solidarity full sail into the bay. This will be a bit dangerous. we risk running aground. The wind is not favourable for us to shoot at the shore. So we need to get the right placement. If we could pull up the second rate right there, and as long as the French can hold on long enough. Here we go. We're almost in range. Should we change to our high velocity extra charge rounds? We don't really need the range. Don't really need the armor piercing, but we're going to do it. Although the flatter trajectory of the shell might make it hard to hit. Then we have Solidarity sitting further back, so her shells should arc higher, but I'm worried about friendly fire on the fort. Alright, the first fire support mission is opened up on the British. Trying to shoot over the fort. The round shot sailing over the head of the French defenders and the militia units inside. Some crashing down on top of them. The British are making their way up to the entrance to the fort. Trident on the other side, 68 gunner. The Tremble, the 78 gunner. Tremble's fully stocked with men, so we will land if we have to. We have to defend this fort for the next 70 minutes in game time. We need to rally up the routing troops. Oh, there's a little bit of friendly fire. But I think this will be the most fun and effective way to preserve our force. We tend to lose a lot of men in land engagements. It's harder to... I mean, we had a pretty good kill to death ratio in our last land engagement, but that's because we went to extra lengths to play the skirmisher game and take out all the enemy artillery batteries before we launched our assault. We also took out all their skirmishers so they couldn't spot us. Alright. Tremble's got a good angle. If I chain shot at them, that would be more effective, wouldn't it? That'd be good. Chain shot at infantry. We got grape shot at these guys. Doesn't seem to work too well. Solidarity's in an odd position. She can't really help. Not without blasting her sister ship. Tremble's got a good line of sight on the rear of the attackers. We might have to withdraw from the fort. They just can't hold it. There aren't enough. But if we withdraw, we could just then bombard the fort into oblivion. Look at that! Smashing them! Instantly routing those two units. So that side's pretty covered. We just have to put pressure on this side. Maybe we can keep them out of the fort. Chain shot doesn't seem to be firing at all. So we'll change back to round shot, which we have proven results with. Solidarity's tied up ashore. I might have to peel her out. Tack up the wind. To bring her around from another angle. Tremble's got a great angle because the shot isn't flying into the fort. And it's hitting them in the rear. But the northern side of the fort just got smashed and the British are nowhere to be seen. The western side is being overrun. Let's pull the French and militia out of the fort and we'll start bombarding the fort. We don't need it. It was just a marshalling area. Grenadiers are hot on their heels. Let's try and face the cannon a bit towards the fort. Trident's in a good spot, but she's blasting all the retreating troops. Fortunately, hitting them so hard, one of them have shattered. Oh, that was the artillery getting overrun by the massive British troops. More friendly fire. Oh god, but we are hitting the British too. It's not a very good start to our alliance. Yeah, we've had a surrender. Royal French Fusiliers have surrendered to the enemy. Let's pull them back as close to the shore as we can. British troops inside the fort just got absolutely blasted. Danger close. Whoa, those shells are hitting the friendly troops. Get down low. The elevation is assisting the British in this case. Let's get Solidarity out of here. She's just a liability there. Watch where you're shooting. We need some defenders to remain so we can take the fort back. Don't want to have to land troops. Let's get them as low on this promontory as we can. Hold fire, Solidarity, please. We don't need any more casualties. Those round shot whisking above the heads of the Grenadiers. But then they're getting hit from behind as well. No one really knows what's going on. The American guns are just shooting at anything that's moving. This is great for breaking morale. Everyone's morale's broken. No one's happy about this. The remaining French survivors are huddled on the shore. Solidarity's making her way upwind. It's going to be a bit of a slog. Grenadiers are still trying to push forward, but the minute they perk their heads above that rise in the land, they're getting absolutely hammered. We've tried to form up our survivors into a solid division. Taking more friendly fire. Grenadiers have lost 5 men. Fusilier unit inside the fort is getting bombarded. Oh dear. Comments? Thoughts? Is this how you would have fought the mission? I didn't want to waste American lives in another bloody battle. Although I probably should have, because this was to take... Was it Wilmington? Let's get in and recapture the fort before time runs out. Then we can get sight on the fleeing British and continue our bombardment. The ones going over the fort are the most dangerous. Let's get on the cannon inside the fort too. British cannon still existing out in the woods. If we can get vision on him, we can push them right back. Solidarity's getting her way. Let's tack across the wind. Grenadiers hiding there on the beach. Oh, run back to the fort quickly. And then we can just lay waste to the entire surroundings. The quicker you get there, the less of you that will die. Fire! Kill anything that's red. Yes, we pushed them back. 15 minutes of defense remaining. Grenadiers trying to sneak up the back, but they're going to cop it. And they have. Solidarity's made way. She's going to race across and join up with Tremble. Look at that. It's getting smashed. Well, that was a proof of concept well-founded, if we discount the friendly fire. But at least our force is preserved, and we can take the town. Let's get some better fire angles to push them right away from the fort, but we have 3 minutes remaining. British troops are just absolutely horrified The fact that all these ships just opened fire relentlessly. Didn't matter who was the target. They were all shot. The countryside is absolutely obliterated. Fortunately, the town remains unscathed. A few shot landing in the fields, but nothing to damage the buildings. Stay away from the edges of the fort. Death zone. Send a militia out to find the rest of the stragglers. Well, we've finished the mission. If they're in there, they don't like it. We lost 14 men. And that's probably from when the cannons exploded. The French lost 900 men. Sorry. That was a wildly successful mission. We didn't take any losses. Barely any. The troops we lost were scenario units, so it doesn't really matter. And we got all the benefits of a successful raid. So I'm going to get to work, upgrading and refitting for the next land engagement. We've got our rewards, and the next mission is a friend indeed. If you'd like to see it, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because it will come up shortly. Commander Tyrael, out.